Hello! What is up, fellow geeks? Super Geek Girl here! yeah. That pink cat again, of all places. I am back, baby! As always, coming to you live from Studio SGG in the heart of Studiopolis Zone. Hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday. Hello, Sleepy. Hello, Zach. Hello, Spiral, Stumpy, Boots, and Gabe. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So glad you guys are here. Hope you guys are having a lovely rest of your weekend. Did anything exciting happen between today and yesterday? Oh, I guess, did everybody remember to set their clocks back? Cause I didn't, and I was very annoyed when my dog got me up at like 6 in the morning. So that was a fun little reminder. Yeah, no, I completely forgot we were falling back too. I think I got most of the clocks in the house though, so I think we're fine. I could have had an extra hour of sleep, and then my dog decided, no, daylight saving time doesn't apply to me. You're getting your ass up at the usual hour. Dogs do not understand the concept of time, so whatever. I'll forgive her. Oh, man. Dude, Yeah, exactly. We were just... Hey, you know what? It could be worse. We could all be stuck in a white void reliving our past memories, so, you know, it could always be worse. I am still, like, reeling from Shadow Generations yesterday. I have not been able... It has been a long time since I have thought this much about Sonic and Shadow and everybody. It is... I think the kick is back. I think I'm back on my Sonic kick again. As if I wasn't already, but, you know what it is. Y'all know how it is. I'm actually getting back into drawing them again. That's how into it I am. So that's a good sign. But yes, let's yeah, reopen them closed wounds. Why not? Why not? I hear the official soundtrack will be released on Christmas. Yay! Oh man, the soundtrack is so good though. I was actually like listening to a rip of the soundtrack earlier this morning because I just could not get Chaos Island out of my head. I couldn't get it out of my head, so I had to re-listen to it and the orchestral version of All Hail Shadow and Kingdom Valley and Radical Highway and all those bangers. All those bangers, I had them on repeat this morning. I am a little bummed that the Casey Lee Williams song was not on there. Maybe it'll be like a super secret track on the actual soundtrack. Who knows? I hope so. We'll see. I am officially deleting my Twitter this week. Elongated Mistakes updated the block feature today. Oh, so that went live, huh? Ick. Yeah, get ready for yet another flood of Twitter people to come flooding in the blue sky. Yeah, seriously though, screw Twitter. It's kind of like Vandalized from Frontiers. Oh, yeah, it may be. It may be, actually. You know they changed the lyrics for Vandalized for Frontiers, right? The original song actually had some F-bombs thrown in the OG, but they took those out when it became the song for Sonic Frontiers. So that's kind of interesting. And I found that out on... I found that out purely by accident, because I was trying to find a copy of Vandalized to play in my car. So I was just scrolling through YouTube and I'm like, oh hey, here it is. So I hit it and I was just vibing along with it, and all of a sudden it went like, F the pain away, my head is in ruins. I'm like, what? Wait, what did they just say? Did they just, what? So yeah, apparently the original had F-bombs in it, but they changed that. Anyway, just be mindful of which version of Vandalize you listen to. I'm more active on the Velvet Room app. Oh! That's amazing! I'm also gonna call it the Velvet Room app, because that's really good. That was really good. I didn't even make the connection. I've been so far removed from Persona that I didn't even make the connection. Hopefully when we finish Thousand Year Door, we'll get back into P5 Royal. Because I do want to get back into that, but I am still kind of waiting on that. Hey, hello, Red Car! How's it going? Sup, dudes? Detective time! Yeah! I am very excited. It's Gay Lawyer Sunday, baby! It's my favorite day of the week! Almost as much as Supersonic Saturdays, but alright, so, that being said, who here is decorated for Christmas? Bruh! Let's get through Thanksgiving first. I make it a personal policy to never do any Christmas stuff before Thanksgiving. Get Thanksgiving done and out of the way first, and then I can focus on Christmas stuff, because... Well, actually, I may have to get a little Christmas stuff done early, but those people who immediately go into Christmas mode right after Halloween, I worry about y'all. I worry about y'all. Do y'all just forget that Thanksgiving exists? Is Thanksgiving, like, called pre-Christmas for you guys? I don't know. It's silly. It's silly to me. My mom says otherwise. Oh, your mom. Okay. I mean no disrespect to your mom. I'm sure she's a lovely person. If they don't sign an interim agreement, I will email them to do so, threatening to call them skibidi... Don't do that. Not only is that cringe, they're not gonna understand it. I'm close to finding my long-lost friend. Oh, that's good. I think I hope you're able to get a hold of them. It's so nice connecting with long-lost friends. That is like one of the only good things about social media, is that it has got me to reconnect with friends that I have not seen since like middle school or high school. Often very, very different lives from when I remembered them, but it's still nice to catch up. So I hope that works out for you, Red Car. Red Car out here doing the side quest. Yeah. I may start listening to Christmas songs even though it's still early November. I think there's already stations in my area that have already switched over to playing Christmas songs. Yeah. You know what? With everything, I don't get political on here, and I'm not going to. All I'll say is I completely will not begrudge anybody listening to Christmas songs early. Especially after next week. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to bring up anything more about it. I don't want to think about it. But I will not begrudge anyone for listening to Christmas songs early. Actually, my husband really, like, unironically loves Christmas songs. So we may end up listening to Christmas music early, regardless, because he genuinely loves that stuff. He's a big fan of, like, Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and all those, like, crooners. He's a big fan of Fallout music, is what we call it. Those of you who play Fallout, y'all know exactly the kind of music I'm talking about. And that's really the only time of year that kind of music is on the radio, like, all over the place. So, yeah, it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. The rights to steal Mariah Carey again have failed. Yes, she is free once more. I actually saw one gif of her, like, smashing... I don't know if it was from this year or if it was from years past that just made the rounds again. But there were, like, 3 jack-o'-lanterns lined up reading "It's Not Time," and she comes in all decked in her Christmas gear and smashes the not one. I guess to prove that, hi, it's Christmas time, losers. Ugh. Disgusting. Anyway. Speaking of Halloween, I heard not a single trick-or-treater has gone to anyone's house this year. Well, I was streaming, obviously. But according to my husband, we got quite a few in our neighborhood. We have a lot of kids in our neighborhood, so we got a handful of trick-or-treaters. Either that, or he ate all of the candy and didn't tell me, because we had a full candy bowl when I went upstairs to stream, and then when I came back downstairs, there were only like a dozen or so pieces of candy left. What's the deal with Mariah Carey? I love her and Justin Bieber's version of All I Want for Christmas Is You. Okay, first off, I didn't know there was a duet version of that. And yeah, it is probably the most repeated Christmas song, to the point where everybody is super sick of it. I mean, I can take the song or leave it, but, because, I mean, I don't know. Christmas music is like take it or leave it for me. But the general joke is she thinks she is the queen of Christmas song. She's the queen of Christmas because of that one song, and she has a very overinflated ego and not a very pleasant person to be around. But anyway, it's a bit early to be talking about Christmas. But it is always the right season for gay lawyers. So, let's not waste any more time and let's jump into it. Where did it go? There it is. Hey, what's up, Locomotive Works? Welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in. Last Christmas by Wham is a close second. Oh, do you guys do the Wham-pocalypse too? Do y'all do that too? Like, do people even still do that? For those of y'all who have no idea what I'm talking about, there's a game floating around where it's see how long you can last through the Christmas season without hearing the song Last Christmas by Wham. If you hear that song, then you lose the game. I have yet to win the game. I got pretty close last year. I made it to like 9 days before Christmas, and then that song went on the radio, and I'm like, no! I don't know. It was a goofy online thing. It's not even a Christmas song. It's a breakup song. Yeah. It's a breakup song. It's not a Christmas song. Anyway, yeah, forget that song. That song's the worst. Okay, for real though. For real this time. Let's get to the gay lawyers, shall we? Let's do it. So, last time, as you guys may remember, we are still in the midst of our flashback phase. We are reliving the case where we first met Gumshoe and Kay. Gumshoe has been accused of the murder of a double murder, in fact. The murder of Bryn Faraday and Mac Rell. And we have proven that perhaps he is not guilty, except nobody's listening to us. So, we also saw Baby K, and she totally kicked Edgeworth in the privates, and that was a hilarious moment. Haha, we love K. We stand Baby K in this chat. Today, we are going to finish case number 4, and maybe get a sneak preview of case number 5. So, let's jump right in. Hello, Legit! Welcome! Thanks so much for tuning in! Glad to have you aboard! Alright, Turnabout Reminisce. Continue! So, yeah, last time we left off, Kay had just revealed to us that, yes, she knew her dad died. It was a very beautiful and touching moment, and a very sweet moment for Edgeworth, even though she then ruined his cravat. It's fine. I finally got accepted into the internship. Yay! Congratulations! That's awesome news, Legit! Fantastic! Congratulations! I'm sure you're gonna do great in your internship. That's awesome news, dude. Very happy for you. All right. You feel like a person to play Change Special Edition. I'm not familiar with that game. I'm not familiar with that, sorry. Yeah, it legit is legit now. That's right. That's right. Congratulations, man. That's wonderful. September 10th, 5:45 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 1. And we've been shooed away again. So yeah, if I recall correctly, Callisto came in, was a bit of a jerk, and basically said, Gumshoe still did it, take him away! Or whatever voice I came up with for her. What is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? Ugh, it smells like flowers. Hey, Uncle Bad! Is this it? Uncle Bad? Oh, no. Hey, thank you very much for the gifted sub, Boots, and congratulations, Vidalia02! Congrats on the gift sub, please enjoy it! Also, I love that she calls him Uncle Bad. Beautiful. Hey, Uncle Bad! Is this it? Isn't that Detective Bad and Kay over there? Looks like she managed to escape the bailiff. Oh, flowery perfume.
No, that's not quite it.
Bad's voice is a little difficult for me right now.
Aw, too bad. But it's so pretty.
I think you're a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it.
He's got a soft spot for the kid. He's got a soft spot for this one.
Thanks! I'll treasure it always.
Those two seem to get along rather well. Oh, here. Got something else for you.
Yay! Thank you, Uncle Bad. Earlier, I ate one of these with Gummy.
Gummy? Ah, you mean Gumshoe.
I was gonna get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. I know he didn't kill Daddy!
Hey, don't cry. Faraday'd be sad if he saw you crying.
I'm not crying.
Kay.
Oh, it's the mister from before. And the lady, too.
Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being? You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do.
Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant. So I'm related to the investigation.
Is that so, Detective Bad?
Yep, I guess.
What? You were just scolding us like kids to not mess up the crime scene! And now you let this child run free? Why?
People are free to investigate things outside the actual crime scene. You also had a few things you wanted to look into. You got a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Miss Yu is looking into.
Hey, Uncle Bad! I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you.
Oh, that's right. Hey, mister.
Yes, what is it?
No, Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean it. So, please, find the real bad guy, okay?
I won't forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there's no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. She wandered off while I was pondering. Rude.
Hello, Gundam! Welcome! Thanks so much for tuning in!
Alright, well, since Bad's here, let's have a little chat with him. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, I'm using mouse and keyboard. I'm not using... I forgot to grab my controller! Is it too late to get the controller? Is it gonna mess up? Oh, there we go. No, we're good. I despise playing it with a mouse and keyboard. A controller whenever possible. All right, that's better. That feels better. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for?
Nothing that concerns you, boy.
Oh, and I suppose it has something to do with Kay?
It does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste.
It sounds like you'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again.
I don't got anything to say to you.
Oh, the finger wag. Please don't. Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is that overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate.
It's that ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself.
What the heck? What kind of perfume has she got?
I didn't think twice and opened the window, but that smell's still here.
Perfume, eh? So the sweet scent in the air is perfume. Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap no-name brand.
She said it's a famous brand from overseas.
It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff.
No disrespect, but she forced one of them bottles on me. Here, little girl. You can have it.
I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. Miles Edgeworth, you will hold on to this bottle without fail.
Why can't she ever be honest about her wants?
She wants the cheap-ass perfume! Why she gotta be such a tsundere? Did Francisca's hair grow? No! This is actually a younger version of Francisca. She's about 12 or 13 here. This is a flashback case. Why do you hate mouse and keyboard? I'm just used to playing with a controller. I very recently got into playing PC games, so I'm still trying to figure my way around mouse and keyboard. There are some games where mouse and keyboard is better. Like I can play The Sims on a mouse and keyboard just fine. And same thing with Baldur's Gate. But for the most part, I default to a controller when I can because it's just more natural to me since I grew up with controllers, so, you know. The only bigger tsundere than Francisca is Carne. Hell yeah!
So now we have the perfume that Miss Yu wears. Just fantastic. That all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigating. Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about.
Man, his eyes are bugging out. It's a really unsettling look. Yeah, exactly. Play with what you want. Bingo.
So you were in this room the entire recess? Like I said, I made a call in the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here.
Well, at least your story is consistent.
Earlier, you said that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu. Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Then what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in two different locations? Guess I am. Interesting.
Ah, so they weren't all together at the same time. Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you.
Let's see. Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident. And as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on that case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case. You knew? I also know that today's trial involving the Cadofian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG8 incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me and told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday. And the KG8 incident! If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you.
Oh, so now we're finally gonna get the... Now we're finally gonna get the backstory here. I just finished reading the new 100 Girlfriends chapter today. Nice! How many girlfriends are we up to in the manga right now? I need to catch up.
Now then, I would like to ask you a few questions about the KG8 incident. It's not exactly a happy story. Other than the people who were directly involved, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell.
Oh, here comes lore. Why am I not surprised it's a lollipop? They pulled a frickin' Sanji. They... Did 4 kids get a hold of this game and made the cigarette into a lollipop? Oh, that's great. That's great. I love that. This whole time we thought he was so cool, but no, he's just got a massive sweet tooth. Give him the 4Kids Sanji accent. Dude, it has been so long since I've seen the 4Kids dub. I have forgotten what Sanji sounds like in the dub. I'm sorry.
Hello, Snip the Cat! Welcome! Thanks so much for tuning in!
Lollipop Sanji is cooler than Cigarette Sanji. I want to disagree with you, but also I also do kind of agree because I am smoking is not cool in my eyes. So yeah. All right, let's find out the honest truth behind the KG8 incident.
Faraday, you and I. As you already know, we three were involved with the KG8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group's secretaries? That trial was just a front.
A facade?
Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed.
I realize this is a serious moment, but CCU kind of sounds like a college fraternity, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like a college somewhere, like some JUCO in the middle of, like, Rhode Island or something? Why does it being a cigarette make it cooler? Because for a long time, everyone was like, oh, smoking is so cool. It's not. It's a disgusting, disgusting habit. But unfortunately, that stereotype stuck around. A lot of TV and movie stars used to smoke all the time, and smoking used to be like really cool, but now people are figuring out that stuff actually kills you. So yeah, lost a lot of its luster after all that. Thank goodness. Is that Francisca? She looks a lot less fierce. Yeah, she's like 12 years old here. This is baby Francisca's first crime scene or something like that.
Then what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin Deveray. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring.
Oh, that's a familiar face.
But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Deveray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. The boss man of the Amano Group? He can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. What is he trying to do, suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved with the smuggling?
I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Cotron, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder... Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go?
If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, CC. I was supposed to protect them both. Miss Yu did mention that as well. About how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister. But even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap.
What kind of a trap?
The holes in this jacket are a testament to that trap.
Oh, snap! Did he get caught in a firefight?
You mean... you were fired upon? You were shot at that many times in one gunfight?
No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG8 incident.
I see.
I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We'd hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu.
Okay. So an important piece of evidence went missing on Bad's watch, and that's what lost them the case. That's rough. I like lollipops, so I also do. Honestly, I kind of do as well. Hello, Tyrant! Welcome! Thanks for tuning in! Yeah, no, Snip, you actually bring up a point. Sanji is a chef, yeah? It doesn't make sense to me for a chef to smoke, because smoking affects your sinuses. It'll ultimately affect your sense of taste and smell. And as a chef, that is like the most important thing you have. I mean, Sanji goes to all this trouble to protect his hands. He fights only with his feet and guards his hands because his hands are his life as a chef. But you're not worried about your own palate? You're not treating your own palate with the same kind of care? Sanji, you're a hypocrite, sir. It might be to calm him down, but it's gonna ruin his palate eventually, and he's not. It's just weird to me. It's just weird. It's funny that smoking isn't in this game, but guns are. Yeah, I don't know, man. Japan has different sorts of. Japan's rating system is like a little bit different from ours. They are not as free with smoking as we are here in the States. About when you first met Miss Yu, it was on the day the verdict of the KG8 incident was handed down, was it not?
Yeah. Faraday and we apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do. But just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face.
Well, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough.
Suppose not. You said it herself. That she never wanted to see either of us ever again.
But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct?
Yeah. Faraday and I, even after the KG8 incident had come to a close, we continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring.
Is the ring really that big?
It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial, related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney.
Her client was related to the smuggling ring, and she was defending them.
Yep. You was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rel this time for the same reason.
Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect.
I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, alright?
And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer?
Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him. Ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to.
It doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable.
You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are.
How dare you insult the daughter of a Von Karma!
Just like us, you felt that she had hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all.
The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it. Only the skill of the craftsman.
The hell does that mean? You two are still too young, but one day, you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all.
Okay, so how come you and Faraday are so close? So what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well.
I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together.
But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagarasu case. Oh, did we touch a nerve?
I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rell was not the real Yatagarasu. Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either.
I sense there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagarasu is what's necessary.
Okay, what is the deal? Are Bad and Faraday in on Yatagarasu together? What do you mean in on it? Wait, you mean like they are actually the Yatagarasu? Is that what you're saying? You know what? That might actually make sense because Kay's going around calling herself the Yatagarasu and Faraday's her dad. So it would totally make sense. So are Faraday and Bad really the partners in crime? Dude. I think we just cracked it. I think we just figured it out. Let's see if we're right. Let's see if we're right.
You claim to know much about the Yatagarasu. Would you care to share what you know with me?
What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rell.
I agree. Which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yatagarasu.
What?
The KG8 incident and this second KG8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ. And that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagarasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yatagarasu. However, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd?
Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already!
I believe there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time. A reason, huh? And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu. Fine, if it'll help you solve this case. Then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yatagarasu.
What was that sudden out?
I should have shouted that. Hang on.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you the real reason we've never caught the Yatagarasu!
What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident!
It still accidentally whipped me anyway! There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever! I see. So, those are the Yatagarasu's special traits. This sounds like an incredibly elusive thief. The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew that Rel wasn't the real Yatagarasu right away.
But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't.
You listen to me, little girl. I'm not done talking yet. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kadofian embassy, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu sent the evidence? Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about. In that case, how can you be so sure it was the Yatagarasu who sent it? That's easy. A special card that only the Yatagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure. And just what sort of card is it? Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Yatagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was. Ah, and that's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now.
Okay, well that was a whole big plot dump, wasn't it? A police officer with, quote, extracurricular activities isn't new, and it would allow for documenting on victims and why he can't be caught. Yeah, no, it makes total sense if it's coming from the inside. You're completely right. And yeah, Japan does love their Phantom Thieves, don't they? They got Lupin, they got the Phantom Thieves for P5. It's a great trope. It's a great trope. I love it. It's so good. Anime shows involving strict parents are one of my weak points. That's why Hokkaido Girls is below my anime ranking. Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't like anime with overly strict parents. The one that immediately comes to mind is Your Lie in April. Other than it being just an incredibly sad anime altogether, if I recall correctly, the mom of the main character is horribly abusive towards her son. I cannot abide that. I cannot abide that, so I probably won't ever watch it. Hokkaido Gals is great, though. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes?
His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So, if you could please head over to the courtroom, it would be much appreciated, sir.
Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad. Detective Bad. What does the law mean to you? Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive.
That was unnecessarily deep.
I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself. And to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty.
Edgeworth, he still doesn't know. It's hard. It's hard watching him like this because he doesn't say it, but remember, at this time, he had no idea that Von Karma was the one responsible for his dad's murder. He thinks this whole time he was responsible for his dad's murder. So, in a way, him punishing all these criminals is essentially punishing himself. Or maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, but it's interesting seeing how his philosophy works here compared to now when he knows the truth of what really happened. And I'm really hoping that 2 dives a little bit more into that. September 10th, District Court Room number 3.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. It appears that His Honor is still a bit dispirited. For the first time today, I experience what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony.
Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict.
Francisca, there's no need to further depress His Honor.
Ouch! But I'm not trying to, Miles.
Your Honor.
Sad judge is sad!
Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence. Your Honor! Oh, yes, sir. Can I help you? I would like to collect the evidence now, sir.
Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job?
Yes, I'm sorry. And I would, except the defense attorney has yet to arrive. She's busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we? Very well. In that case, please confirm that all evidence is present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case. Understood, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those 2 men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. And maybe Even something that will finally lead me to the truth.
I placed all of the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you.
I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they're all accounted for.
Edgeworth always believed the security guy killed his dad, and he was unhappy that he was found not guilty because of his unstable mind. I don't think that's quite it, is it? Because no, I don't think that's quite it, because the whole final bit of Turnabout Goodbyes was Miles admitting to the court that I'm the one who killed my dad. That's the whole reason that he had nightmares for years, because he thought he was the one responsible. So no, it was never. I mean, maybe part of him believed it was Yanni, or maybe one of him wanted to believe it was Yanni Yogi, but no, I think he always blamed him. He always blamed himself for the death of his father, and that absolutely breaks my heart. So yeah, no, he'd always blamed himself for it. All right, let's check it out. I just watched my friends replay Turnabout Goodbyes. I never recalled him blaming Yanni Yogi for the death. Yeah, I didn't think so either. And I was actually a little worried because, like, I've been so far removed from that particular case, but they didn't mention it in the anime either, but I figured the anime just, like, condensed some stuff down. But no, I don't remember that ever being the case. So yeah, Miles has always blamed himself for his dad's death, and it's interesting seeing how that affects his mindset here. Becoming a prosecutor could be a form of self-punishment. I'm not sure. Anyway, I could theorize about Miles all day. I could put this dude in a glass case and look at him all day. But no, let's move on.
So, this is the evidence related to today's Kodofian embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag. You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right? Yes. Finally. We can now take a look at the evidence itself, not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time.
Agreed. I'd want to take a good look at all the evidence from the embassy murder too.
And why is that?
Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about.
Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something!
Or don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today!
I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. It's all so real to see the knife up close. So, we have the knife, the gun, an envelope. And what's this organizer doing here?
Oh, that's right! I completely forgot to tell you!
About what, Your Honor?
They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help aid the investigation.
Detective Bad said that?
What a strange stroke of luck.
Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. We might as well flip through it too.
Alright, so let's check out all this. You can argue that Edgeworth's death. You can argue. Oh my god, I cannot read today. What the hell? You could argue Edgeworth's guilt about his dad's death may also be an example of a shadow. Oh, and we're coming back to the Persona 5 Ace Attorney crossover. It's possible for years he blamed himself, but him becoming a prosecutor was him trying to forget it. But the murder of Yogi's attorney forced him to confront that guilt. Oh! So you think that being a prosecutor was him trying to escape it? You thought, oh, that's an interesting theory. Well, yeah, not strictly Persona. Not strictly Persona, but that's immediately the first thing that came to mind. But interesting. That's an interesting theory behind it. I always assumed that it was, I always assumed becoming a prosecutor was a punishment rather than a coping mechanism. But that's just me. That's just me. That's interesting. That's interesting. I never considered it as a coping mechanism before. Well, I've got something new to ponder after the stream is over. Alright, let's check out the gun first.
This gun. It was originally used to kill the Godothian embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest.
And then this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic.
Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence.
Alright, so that's gun checked out. Knife.
That's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday.
Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act? Oh, Gundam, are you heading out? Alright, good night. Have a... there we go. Happy face. Have a great night, Gundam. Take care.
It's never crossed your mind that you used your riding crop for the wrong purpose?
Let's do the organizer.
Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in the habit of using it.
It looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here. Alright, let's read this. I have collected the evidence Whoa, Miles, shush. I'm still reading, buddy. I have collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove he was the one.
It appears Mr. Faraday...
There. I cannot talk, dude. What the heck?
It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed Mr. Rell was the killer in the case.
The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. We haven't found a surveillance video, though, have we? I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatagarasu. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up.
Apparently, he also had a very definitive piece of evidence.
It's been a long battle. I hope that this will finally bring it to an end.
Yes, I believe Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell may have had about being the real Yatagarasu.
And they had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was the guilty party in the embassy murder.
This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later.
Alright, so we'll go back and check that out in a moment. Hello, Zelda NPC! Welcome, welcome! Wait, yeah, no, how does he have a Yatagarasu key? Were we right? Were we right on it? Were we actually right? Is Faraday actually the Yatagarasu and Bad is like his police liaison? Look! There's a picture stuck between these pages here.
It appears to be a key.
Wait! Whoa! Was that the same pattern that was on the knife? Is that the same pattern that was on the knife? I need to double back and check the knife. I can't. I'll have to check it in detail later. It looks real similar.
And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer?
The Yatagarasu's key?
Detective Bad said something earlier.
What's different about this time was that the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated a Godothian embassy, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu sent the evidence?
Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. the evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep the secret key safe.
As the prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected. That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer.
It is the same pattern. Look, it's totally the same pattern.
That certainly is odd. The weapon that was used to kill the Godothian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from?
Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Vell. That's the only logical conclusion, right?
No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside.
In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up inside the courthouse?
I need to think carefully here. There's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to see today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence.
Myers Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca.
What? Then what is it?
One of the pieces we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse.
It was the key itself!
Take that!
This Yatagarasu key Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courtroom.
Called it! Alright, take care, legit. Have a good rest of your day. I know that some people suggest 2 people were the Yatagarasu, but what if Yatagarasu was 3 people, 1 for each talon? Ooh. But then, who would the 3rd person be? A falling out between thieves? It's honestly a falling out between thieves. You're not making any sense, Myers Edgeworth.
You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean. Don't the color and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything?
Well, they do remind me of the knife.
Very good. Both the Yatagarasu's key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagarasu's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say?
It appears that you've finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these 2 pieces of evidence are in fact one and the same.
But that's impossible!
Even if that's what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail.
Alright, here, wait, what's this? What is that? Come on. Boom! Oh, that's not bad! It's a lockpick and a self-defense weapon! Oh, that's not bad! That's slick! That is slick, actually! Oh, I am absolutely going to be using that for a D&D campaign. That is a good item. That's a good item. Big fan. I like the knife key. Knife key is going... I'm making a note of it right now. All right. Note to self. Add knife key to D&D campaign. Got it.
I can't believe it turned into a key! To see there was such a trick to this thing!
So, the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key the Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now.
The key turns into a knife, and that's how it got in! Oh, that's so good! I love that!
Frankly, I'm shocked.
Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside.
You missed it! You missed it, Stumpy! The knife that we found was actually the key! The key turns into a knife! The knife turns into a key! It's a great item! It's a fantastic item that I am totally gonna use when I do a D&D campaign again! That's so good, man!
But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday!
Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday. Meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief Yatagarasu!
Then maybe Mr. Valvili was the Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario?
No, not really. Especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier, when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
That's a bit of a leap, Mile. You seem to have figured out the key is a knife. Stumpy, you literally missed the part where we examined the key in detail. We found a little switch on the bottom of the knife. And then the wood handle flipped over and revealed the key. So yeah, you just literally missed the part where we figured it out. It was not a jump. So anyone could have figured it out is what you're saying. Yes, but we're the ones who figured it out because we're the protagonists. We're the heroes, so we're the only ones smart enough to figure it out. It's fine.
I see. All right, then. I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else. And that person is the real Yatagarasu.
It seems that this key truly is the key to solving this case.
And there it is, the weapon used to kill Faraday. It's anyone who handles evidence, which is everyone in this case. I mean, I think we've pretty much established that only a few select people in the Ace Attorney franchise are smart enough to thoroughly examine all of the evidence. Alright, let's see what's in this manila envelope.
I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started.
Well, I wasn't afforded the opportunity to even skim it.
Well, I suppose I should explain it to you then.
Yes, you should. Perfectly and in its entirety, if you please.
On the night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Macrel was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot.
A simpleton of a man, that's what he was.
Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rel was caught in the act on film by a security camera.
He He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice the security camera.
The Cadofian Embassy security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area.
So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself?
Yes. The surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rell on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear.
So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life. You know what? I'm starting to think that Francisca is, like, a lot softer than we give her credit for. Because, like, she was repelled at the sight of an actual dead body. She kind of winced at the knife, and here when she said she doesn't want to see the moment of somebody's death. I mean, obviously nobody wants to be exposed to this stuff in real life. And also, this was before she, became a prosecutor proper, but it's interesting. It's interesting to see kind of this somewhat softer side of Francisca. I like it.
That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece of evidence that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court.
The surveillance video? How can a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rell committed the murder. Where could it have gone, indeed? Are you done with your inspection of the evidence? Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence.
Your Honor, was you derelict in your duties?
What? No! I dare not lick my duties! What do you take me for?
What the heck? Hello, NSM! Welcome! Thanks for that. Thanks. Blah, 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 blah. Thanks for tuning in. Glad to have you.
No, Your Honor. The most important piece of evidence in today's trial. The surveillance video is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me. But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene. There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime. Defendant lobby number 2.
So, is it actually still in the video play? Ah! I recognize that young man! I recognize that young man! Ooh, I do love a man in uniform! Hello, Lang! I did not expect to see you here! Yeah, alright, fine, whatever.
Go in the damn box.
I can't even get one! I can't even get one moment of peace, man! It's not my fault! It is not my fault that this entire franchise is full of hot men that are easily simpable, okay? It's not my fault! This game is my Achilles heel! It's full of hot guys! You can't hold it! You can't hold it against me! You sounded so happy. Look at him! Look at him! Look at how handsome he is! Look! Whatever. It's comfy in the box. I'm fine. Peace is not what you were after. No. Peace is not what I was after. But I wouldn't mind a piece of Lang. That is the dumbest joke I've made today. All right. September 6th. September 10th, 6 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. I need to hydrate real fast.
Okay, alright, we're good. We're good. You came back on a good time, Zelda NPC. Oh, I await the clip of that.
That's Detective Bad. But who is he with? I've never seen that officer before.
I have.
So, did you find it?
No, not yet. And I've looked everywhere.
I see. Well then, please continue with the search.
Understood. I'll continue the search. So, you're the one running this show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at crime scenes.
How dare you! Just who do you think you are?
No! Is that all we get? Is that all we get? A baby Lang? Boo! Give me more of the uniform! Give me more! I want more! That's not fair! You can't just cut me off like that!
What was that all about? And who was that man just now?
Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life! Alright, back to it, I guess.
Does he even realize it was standing right behind him?
I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids?
Oh, so you were paying attention after all.
Course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head.
So that mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye on who or what is behind him at all times.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now?
The guy came here from the Republic of Zhangba to study. Name's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch.
Ooh, that's lofty.
By visiting various police departments around the world. He has a lot of dedication.
He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he is rude.
Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time.
I agree. However, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad?
Earlier, that little girl was poking around in lobby number 1 as well.
Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you.
I highly doubt that it has nothing to do with me. Fine. If this is the game I must play, then I will take the opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him.
All right, let's talk to him one more time.
Earlier you were in lobby number 1. Now you're here in lobby number 2. You're quite the busy man, Detective Bad.
Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say.
I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked about what happened again, correct?
I don't have anything left to say to you, boy. Boy, you'll see. I will draw my answer from you one way or another.
Would it
kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation.
I mean, he has been answering your questions, just in a really rude way.
I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think?
Ugh! Please, we are asking you for just a bit more of your cooperation.
Don't push me, kid.
Alright. Time of the murder.
Gumshoe's plenty useful. Lang spent all of his last chapter being stubborn for stupid reasons. Yeah, no! He's absolutely a pill! He's a hot pill, but he's a pill. I'll fully admit that.
I'd like to ask once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime.
I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about?
Things you don't know about? But aren't you supposed to know everything? He should. Wait. Is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. I should try showing it to him. It may prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad.
All right. Let's present the key.
Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph?
Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case.
In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu's key are one and the same?
What? That's impossible!
Oh, it looks like he didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasu's key to prove that Mr. Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Isn't that correct?
Guess so.
However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was in fact a knife.
Yeah, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How did we miss something as big as this?
Because you're not the protagonist, that's why you missed it.
I noticed that since a little while ago, you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for?
Yeah, that's right.
And why were you searching for it?
Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life?
Detective Bad. So that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more.
All right. But it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing's gonna change.
I don't know about that. Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1.
My answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm gonna do this.
That's fine. Because I only need this one last time to clear everything up and find the truth behind this case.
All right, I'm gonna lose the box. Thank you for the redeem. Detective Bad's movements. Here we go.
I was in lobby number 1, talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like the exact same story he told us before. Indeed. However, I feel that we have yet to draw out all the information that we can.
Okay, first off, we already know what that loud explosion was. It wasn't a gunshot at all. Alright, lobby number 1. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot.
Hold it!
Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary?
I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
If the gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, that would give that other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning.
I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now.
Sure.
I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. Oh yeah? So you mean to tell me that you did not hear a balloon popping when you were right there in the hallway? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Objection!
Objection!
Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything?
It's the same color as the one Kay was holding.
Oh, so you knew about this girl's balloon?
Yeah, I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her.
Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon.
So, what about the balloon?
I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point?
What are you getting at?
This fragment was found in the hallway, right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot.
Oh? So the sound that the judge heard wasn't actually a gunshot, huh?
On top of that, His Honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial anniversary convened.
Yes, which means that His Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway. When you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad! And if you were in lobby number 1 at that time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well!
Oh! Uh-oh! We've been stopped in our tracks.
So?
Don't give me a so! That just proves there's a flaw in your testimony!
The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivety cracking. And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and the walls of this place seem so rugged? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
Hold it! What is that supposed to mean?
The doors and walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. Then, you mean...
Everything is soundproofed. Ugh!
Since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I heard that sound.
No! A voice actor's dream room. Yeah, no, I would love to be in a soundproof room to record. That would be fantastic, actually.
I knew that's what he was going to say!
Does that mean that scruff-faced testimony is completely useless? If the the rooms are soundproof, then of course he wouldn't hear any sign of a struggle. Ugh.
That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now do you get it, kids?
Miles, I thought we were the ones supposed to be finding flaws in his logic, not the other way around.
The other way around. It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if one were in lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation in reverse, a person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. And yet, Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot?
What do you mean, how? I just did.
It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words.
Oh? How so?
If the rooms are as soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, Francisca totally just pulled a Jessica Fletcher. Or more accurately, she triggered a Jessica Fletcher.
Guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I thought.
Which means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to?
It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have.
It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again, huh?
The state of the crime scene? Wait, can it be?
It's that ultra-strong perfume Yu wears. She spilled some of it. And way too noisy!
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
Okay, whoa. We're piecing things together here. The open window? Oh, lobby number 2 connects with the perfume. Okay, so we got that at least.
It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows. And yet, the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course! Incorporeal things can move freely through these open, barred windows.
So the windows must have been open in both rooms. That's how they heard it, right? The windows must have been open in both lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. That would also explain the TV.
Now then, what else besides a smell can go in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations.
But I still don't understand how these two link up. Is the surveillance tape what was on the TV just then? Is that what it was? When we walked in, the TV was on, so maybe that's what it was. I mean, it's all we've got, so let's see how they connect up.
The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Rell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial.
It was the sound of the gunshot that they heard. It was a gunshot from the video that they heard, not an actual gunshot. That's what it was. That's what threw everybody off.
The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible that its ape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence that the missing evidence created for me! The gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place!
We got it. We got it.
Miles, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time thinking and let's start looking again.
It's not a waste of time to think, for I have figured out where we should look.
And where would that be?
I believe we should examine the television!
The TV? Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like.
How do you get a TV to fire a gunshot at the decibel of an actual gunshot? Oh, if it was cranked up all the way, maybe.
It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside.
It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end.
This tape. Could this not be the missing surveillance tape?
Well, I suppose, but...
Detective Bad, would it be all right with you if I verified the contents of this video?
Sure. Knock yourself out.
All right, then let's rewind this and see what we have.
If I remember correctly, the footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape.
Understood. This should be about right. Now then, let's see.
This is the footage of Mr. Rel shooting the embassy staff member.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence. The surveillance video was here all along!
Sound. What's the meaning of this?
It appears Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder.
Do you mean that you figured it all out then?
Yes. All I have to do now is show what the gunshot Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from.
Fine! In that case, show me what you deduced.
And through where they heard it from. Alright, so... they heard it through the open window. We got it! We got it!
Eureka!
Ba-boom! Although a recording of a gunshot fooling several police officers is a little bit of a stretch, but I'm just gonna roll with it. It's Ace Attorney logic. It's fine.
If the door and windows to the crime scene, namely this room we're in, were closed, the killer could have used the gun and no one would have been the wiser.
That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were.
However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot.
Well, the windows in lobby number 1 and number 2 on the hallway were open. So naturally, the people in those locations could hear it.
Ah, but then why would the criminal open the window in the first place?
To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose.
Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this.
They used the sound of the gunshot to distract from the actual killing. That's what it was. Everyone heard the fake gunshot, so then the real gunshot went unnoticed. Or something like that, maybe?
But why was that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles! I demand satisfaction! Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What did the killer want to manipulate? It had to have been the time, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes. And they used the gunshot in the surveillance video to do so.
Yes, ma'am, Francesca.
She's 12! Calm down! So that's why the tape was left running!
You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video?
Yes. Which means that the murders really occurred at a much earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period. And planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer!
Demanding satisfaction is what we do in duels, Francisca. I left my pistols at home. Francisca don't care! She'll throw down with her whip! She don't care!
Mr. Edgeworth! Yes, what is it? Miss Yu was asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She says that she's identified the murderer, but that she wants to clarify something.
It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something.
Understood. Please tell her that I will be right over.
I'll come along too. I want to hear what she has to say.
It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth.
To be continued. I mean, yeah. At this point, it's got to be you. It's got to be Callisto. I don't see anyone else it could be. It's got to be her. She's literally the only suspect left other than Gummy. Oh no, I'm gonna start calling him Gummy now. I'm gonna start calling him Gummy instead of Gumshoe. All right. Confrontation with Callisto. Let's see how this all settles up. September 6th, 6:15 p.m. District Court, Courthouse number 3. Oh, and Kay's here.
Kay? What are you doing here?
Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating.
But the object you're looking for is already...
Hold it! Kay, don't mind him. Continue with your investigation.
Okay, you got it.
Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you're looking for?
If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do.
Oh? You're more sympathetic than I thought.
Oh, he doesn't want her here for this. He doesn't want her here for the truth. Oh, yeah! Now this is Ace Attorney, baby! Now this is Ace Attorney! Look at this! Look at this! Beautiful! Beautiful!
I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth.
I've also been waiting for the moment we can finally lay this case to rest.
The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we've more than solved this case already. Don't you?
We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds.
Oh, I see we even got a viewer in the gallery. And why even Mr. Bad is here?
A viewer? In the gallery? I am hardly just a bystander!
I have a duty to see this case through to the end, no matter how it turns out.
Oh? Is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements during the time where our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must without a doubt be Detective Gumshoe.
And that's all you have?
Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion and this case.
Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there is always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It would be more than appropriate to follow the rules of the court in this case, don't you think?
Absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing! But alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony.
If my logic is correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is prove it, by showing who the real killer is.
Alright, here we go. Here we go. Ace Attorney proper, baby. Let's do it.
Everyone, sans the suspect, has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scenes have all been thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirmed that there's no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. And now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth.
But of course. There's no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump card she has up her sleeve.
It's really weird seeing a defense attorney trying to get someone convicted and a prosecutor trying to defend a suspect. No, it's a very nice, one may say it's a good turnabout. I appreciate it. All right. We're gonna press this bitch on everything.
Hold it!
The suspect? But I thought the Detective Gumshoe's alibi had already been proven.
Joking, Edgeworth!
I assure you, this is no joke.
Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll.
Yes, that is correct.
But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is, there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking.
I see she's done her research well, which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding.
Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated.
Hold it!
Excuse me. Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide.
Oh, them scrunched eyebrows and lines on your forehead are back! Anyway, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out, other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect.
But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through a window into the garden?
Oh, that is the first place everybody looked, silly! The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums.
Actually, they kind of are.
They looked into every possibility, you know. Ain't that right, Mr. Beard?
Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden.
I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to this case.
I also confirmed there's no possible escape route.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape?
Of course I'm sure.
And why are you so certain?
This is a courthouse. The place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense.
Yeah, with all the crazy laughter, she did kind of morph into Harley Quinn. I was starting out as the nanny, but she has kind of morphed into Harley Quinn over time. Myers Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future. Cool, thanks. Detective Gumshoe's the killer.
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me, there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand?
You're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing.
I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the subject.
Oh, but there were witnesses. For you, there's your mentor who gave you an alibi.
I see.
As for the little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard.
I am the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or a bailiff or anyone else.
So basically, the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor?
Petty little brats, even now.
By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned the guard duty?
What about him?
Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time?
What kind of an idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Beard and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we were to go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when the gunshot you heard went off? What then? That gunshot was a trap!
Whoa, okay, ma'am.
Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1, you can't explain how that could have been fabricated.
It was the video, you dipshit.
Take that!
That tape?
Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is a surveillance tape of Mr. Rell, the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up.
You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video.
Ah, but I do. Which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard those gunshots.
Whoa. She is struggling to get her makeup on.
That's the only thing I can think of, too.
After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up, and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe!
Sounds from a television don't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Korma. You already knew that much from the beginning, right?
Of course we knew, didn't we, Miles? Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms.
Of course, I'm not going to admit we had no idea until only a little while ago.
Beautiful.
That's right. And if the room's a soundproof, then we shouldn't have been able to hear it. And yet, we heard the gunshot clear as day.
And
that's it. End of story.
But it's not.
Because the windows were open!
There is actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And that is, despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now, we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also opened.
Objection!
It's probably just coincidence they were both open at the same time.
Objection!
It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window opened in lobby number 1? The answer is that a certain person did something to cause that window to be opened. And the person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is...
It's gotta be her. It's gotta be Callisto.
Take that!
Miss Callisto Yu! I hereby formally indict you of the murders of Mr. Faraday and Miss Dorell!
What? You... Oh! We caused her to screw her makeup up!
You indict me?
Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she's the killer?
I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now?
Of course I do, Edgeworth.
My argument must not be tight enough yet.
Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know, I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right?
All right, here we go.
You argue that the window was open. However, do you have any proof it was I who did that?
Oh, we got proof.
Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this. Especially with logic as full of holes as yours.
This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second, or the truth will blow away. Now is the time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the test.
Perfect proof? I got your proof right here, honey. How else do you me explain this cheap-ass knockoff Chanel number 5 all over the air! We have totally got her. Objection!
Objection!
I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu?
Oh, Edgeworth! I never knew you were wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know?
This is not mine!
That's right. It's mine. And I received it from Detective Badge, you see.
Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. That you are the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bad.
And that you're super easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume?
While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad.
Oh, I know.
You also knew that if you spilled it, he would naturally move to open a window.
Objection!
Oh, come now. I told you, that's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window.
Objection!
The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. You mean, Miss Yu, you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1 when you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yu!
You're accusing me on murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume? Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday.
Would you care to testify as to why?
Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all.
Yes, let's do it.
Accusing somebody over a spilled bottle of perfume's a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma.
Oh, shit!
In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from.
Oh, you've done it now, honey. You've done it now, honey.
Myers, her testimony is flawless. Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking in information, I'll just draw it out of her.
Why, it couldn't be me. Accusing someone of murder of a spilled bottle of perfume's a bit of... I suppose forgery of evidence is a bit of Von Karma. That means a lot of defense lawyers know the Von Karmas make evidence up. Oh, you know what? You know what? I didn't realize that connotation. Oh, damn. Okay, so yeah, no, everyone knows that the Von Karmas are full of shit. That's wild, and they still let him get away with it. All right, I'm pressing this.
Hold it!
At this rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag.
Miles, what do you think you're doing?
I'm drawing the truth out of her. That's what I'm doing.
Huh? But I don't recall a knife being present at the trial earlier today.
Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use.
Oh, so that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key the Yatagarasu had sent. And unless the key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on.
Got her.
Did you really think you could trap me? Oh, come on now. Be honest.
I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony.
Oh, sure. Why not? I'll even say it as many times as you like. There was a key in his evidence bag, but you can't kill anyone with a simple key.
No, but you could absolutely kill somebody with a trick key that turns into a knife. We've got you, you! Take this!
Objection!
Oh, I should have yelled objection. Oh well, it's fine.
Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me.
Objection!
Thank you! I missed it, but you got it, thank you.
This is a picture of the key the Yatagarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it in fact has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the Yatagarasu key and the murderous knife! You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not?
Yes.
Well, with the Yatagarasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday! Do you understand now? Just knowing of the existence of...
Oh, come on already!
I still haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could be lying for all I know.
You would even now feign ignorance?
I ain't feigning anything. But we can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence, now can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I've heard some very interesting rumors about him.
You damn muck my papa!
Don't you dare sully the good name of my mentor! Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real.
Oh, wow! Who knew there was a trick to such a thing?
Are you satisfied now?
She may be trying to take the knife. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Have we done a bad? Have we done a dumb? Have we let her goad us into something stupid?
But of course you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yatagarasu key are one and the same. Otherwise, someone like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement, and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with. Furthermore, the something that the Yatagarasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was?
Actually, I heard about it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right! I almost forgot! He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. But he didn't tell me how the key actually transforms.
What you're saying is simply not possible.
Oh, and why not?
Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. For within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
Objection!
I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know? Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Objection!
Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. What would have been highly classified information, even within the police force, and is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition?
Oh, yeah! I guess he wouldn't have had much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh?
How can you laugh at a time like this?
She probably just realized the flaw in her logic and is actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with.
I suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of this knife.
Do you now? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me, huh?
Oh, I will. And I will wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it. The moment of truth. The secret behind the Yatagarasu's key. Only one person would have had knowledge of it from the get-go. Who would know from the start that the Yatagarasu's key can change into a knife? You are the Yatagarasu! There is only one person who would know about the dual nature of this key.
And that is?
And that is the person who sent the Yatagarasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Yatagarasu herself!
Are you saying that this lawyer is the great thief Yatagarasu?
Miss Yu, you used Mr. Rell to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You, who professed to bear a grudge against criminals. Why? Why would you do something like this? Uh-oh. Are we about to do the breakdown?
Stupid rookie prosecutor would see through me. You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgewood. Is feeling a thrill. It's even greater than when I sneak into some place.
You killed Faraday? Why? Answer me, Callisto, you!
Callisto, you. Huh? That's not my real name. Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief Yatagarasu! Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. But you see, he had discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for a little favor in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after him and eavesdropped on him through a crack in the door. That Rel caves to only two things: money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held on to Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let him continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both!
But didn't you say that you despise criminals?
But do I really?
You... Have you forgotten about the KG8 incident too?
Maybe.
What sort of a woman would... So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent?
Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yatagarasu by using this Yatagarasu's key as evidence, and that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk with Mr. Faraday. And in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yatagarasu's key. Just like that. He never noticed that I had changed the key into a knife inside that plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life.
How could you kill him?
I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death.
But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Rel as well.
I believe I mentioned why when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness. And how that led to the killer to think about setting them up as though they killed each other.
Then the trick with the surveillance tape.
Yeah, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape. Which is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. And after all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet.
You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you betray a client?
Client? If you want to talk about who was a client or who's first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of the Cadofian embassy staff member, Dead Man.
You ordered a hit job?
You still hadn't figured it out, Mr. Beard. I had Dead Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination,
It can't be. You're...
That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring.
Oh, Oh, we called it super hard, you guys!
How could this? You don't mean you're working with Manny coaching too, do you?
Maybe. Maybe not. I guess you'll never know.
The Yatakarasu claims to be noble, but you are just another cold-blooded murderer!
Ah, that's right, little girl. The Yatagarasu is just another killer.
My mouth, my face is going crazy. There we go.
Be quiet! You, Yatagarasu! You can run from the law, but you will never escape it! So just humbly accept the judgment of this court!
Uh-oh. Is she about to... What's about to happen? What's about to happen?
Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know? The Yatagarasu's got 3 legs. You know why that is?
You're right. It is all 3 of them.
No? Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yatagarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit! Oh, no! Oh, no!
You really are too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Yatagarasu's key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it.
You mean the key was your real target?
And even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes of your negligence.
You two, get down! My body! I can't move!
Oh, God!
Mister, to your right!
Whoa! Oh, shit!
You!
Get her!
Are you all right, Francisca?
I'm perfectly fine, Miles.
Her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Kay's been saving our asses for a long time. It sure looks that way! But who got shot?
That's a gunshot.
Well, obviously it wasn't Kay, unless she has a bullet wound somewhere. So... was it bad? Or did... There's no way, right? September 10th, 7 p.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Whoa, okay. Ah, damn it.
Sorry. It looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you all right? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket. You may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken. More importantly, boy, I mean, Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma, you two hurt?
I'm absolutely fine.
I'm also all right, thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, Where is she?
I don't know. She just sort of disappeared.
I'll go look for her. Oh, and... Hey, Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir, Detective Bad, sir.
I'm sorry I doubted you.
Oh, don't worry, sir. It ain't your fault. I lied to you guys too, after all.
I heard about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective.
You can lie, and that's what makes you a detective. That's not a great message, Bad, but whatever.
Now don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay?
Oh, you got it, Pops! Pops? Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we?
Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere with a snarky comment.
I should get back to the investigation. I swear, I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do.
Be careful, Detective Bad, and take care.
Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday.
Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything.
Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison.
Oh no, Sad Judge is still dead.
I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe.
It was no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor.
Well, even if we didn't have his honest testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf.
Whew, yeah. I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective.
Well, so long as you're not fired, you should work hard, give all that you have, and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me.
She did? Oh, what is it?
It was the Swiss roll.
Take that!
Oh, that's a courthouse special Swiss roll. Can I really have this?
Yes. It's a present meant for you, after all.
Oh, thanks a bunch! You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal! I'm gonna eat this right now!
Sure, go ahead. The Swiss rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. While the one Kay saved never reached her father, it would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective.
He's so happy. It's though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own.
Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him.
Woo! That was good, pal! I can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day! It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something! I gotta thank Kay myself! Hey, wait! Where is she?
He only noticed just now. Was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Perhaps you should go join him.
Oh yeah, you betcha, pal! I'm gonna go help him! Oh, but first... You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Oh, friends! The friendship has been acquired! And that's how he got stuck with the tag-along Gumshoe!
I sense nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement.
Social link, rank up. Yes, exactly.
We should go home too, Miles. We have to hurry and report what has happened to Papa.
Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective.
Roger, sir! And don't you worry, I'll investigate the next case we're on real well!
I'll, be counting on you. The scent of trouble is definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I've tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. But I suppose that's just how things are.
No, come on, he's friends. Y'all are friends. Come on, just admit it. Y'all are friends. He is absolutely way too harsh to Gummy. Justice for Gummy! Gummy don't deserve this, but he's whatever. It's fine, I guess.
As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now...
directly in front of you.
So, do you remember now?
Yes, I remember everything. Kay. It's been a while.
Hey! You sure grew up a lot!
Of course! But thank goodness! I thought you two had totally forgotten about me.
Well, you know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where you been all this time?
Aw, Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They lived really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much.
Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're all right.
So, does it all make sense now?
Oh, you betcha it does!
Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently, and...
Huh? What? Actually, there are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay.
Huh?
First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? The Yatagarasu is Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father.
No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father.
Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu!
Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelves recently, and I found a secret diary hidden amongst his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That's what was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure.
But that's impossible!
What's with that look? You don't believe me?
It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now.
All right, then. How do you explain this?
That's a way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing.
Yep, that's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father.
Whoa! Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor. He was really a great thief, huh?
Yeah! My father worked really hard to steal the truth. But he was killed. And the Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently.
Someone other than you?
Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article.
That's what we saw at the beginning!
The Yatagarasu sent the embassy a calling card?
Yeah! Meaning this person's a fake! I'm almost certain that Callisto U lady is behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out.
But the Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves.
Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up, and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out, so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
So you're saying that I have your father's and Miss Yu's identities backwards?
Yep. Because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real, noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace.
Kay.
Kay, you're so honorable.
I don't care what anyone else thinks, I'll always be here to chill you on, pal!
Even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief. And if you are plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I cannot be complicit.
Mr. Edgeworth. Ugh, you guys ain't making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now?
Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman.
That evil woman? You mean Callisto U?
I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me?
Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you.
Huh? Owe me for what?
When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I am not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid.
Then, you mean...
Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you.
Mr. Edgeworth! Thank you!
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Ain't that great, Kay?
Yeah! It sure is, Gummy!
Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now.
What is with their chummy relationship?
The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Burn Faraday, Callisto U, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagarasu.
I'm surprised I didn't trip over phantasmagorically.
And the Yatagarasu's real goal. It would all come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay.
The end. All right. So we were kind of right? There were a lot of theories floating around, and in a way, they were all correct. You was the Yatagarasu, Faraday was the Yatagarasu, Bad was maybe Yatagarasu, all three of them are Yatagarasu. Well, we don't know about that last one yet, but I'm still convinced that the Yatagarasu 3 legs represent 3 people. You may be right. But we will have to wait until next week to find out. Well, probably longer than that, but the next Gay Lawyer Sunday will be next Sunday. So be sure and tune in for that. The next stream, however, is going to be tomorrow. We are starting Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remake. It's going to start tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure and tune in. It's one of my favorite games ever, so I hope you guys will join me for that, and so I can scream about all the things that were changed and all the good stuff that's happening. Good stuff. And then Thursday may or may not be a stream, to be confirmed. I'm still planning on there being a stream on Thursday, but that is subject to change, so, keep an eye on my socials on Thursday, and I'll know for sure then when I come back. Full schedule will be posted tomorrow on all my socials. Y'all know where to find me, and that is gonna do it for today. So, this is SGG, signing off. Stay super, everybody! Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys tomorrow night.
Bye now!